Hey, True Crime Besties. So today I have a murder that has totally WTF'd me. And without further ado, let's get into this one. So this is the Golden State Killer, also known as the East Area Rapist and the Night Stalker, and I think the Ransacker. But Joseph James D'Angelo Jr., he was born November 8th, 1945 in Bath, New York. He's the oldest of the kids. Okay. In very young age, he would break into people's homes. He would have weird hobbies, like kill animals and stuff. You know where all that starts. Weird things. He was part of the varsity baseball team, and he got his GED, and this was in Cordova, California. And he also joined the military and served in the Vietnam War, and he won a bunch of medals and stuff, so good for him. And then he decided he wanted to be a cop. So he went back to school, got his associates and bachelor's, and did that 32-week training to be a cop. And he was assigned in the burglar unit. He was very good at his job, but again, I don't know if his breaking in from the past, he wanted to fight crime and find those people, or like they say, you can't beat them, join them, right? So he would start just breaking into homes. The first case of the ransacker was March 1974. He would steal piggy banks, ignored large amounts of money and high value items. I don't know if it was just for the thrill of things. And he would steal just low value things, like a single earring, or push things off people's, mess up their homes, or misplace, say their laptop was in their bedroom and he would move it to the basement or something. So, and he would also stash his car and take different routes that led to a faster getaway. And he would also set up dishes or traps that if he didn't hear them come in, he would set up a trap so that if someone opened the door and dishes fell, then that he would know. And then he would have different points of he would unlock this window and leave it unlocked, have the back door unlocked, front, so just anything he could get away easy. So in 20 months, he did 128 burglaries, and he's 28 years old at this time. And then also one night, September 11th of 1975, he goes out at 2 a.m. and decides to take this 16-year-old girl named Beth by shining a flashlight in her face. He'd wear a ski mask, and usually he plans out his crimes very well, but this one he just decided to take her. Well, the dad was home and heard, and so the dad caught him and stopped him, but he ended up shooting the dad twice, and unfortunately the dad passed, but he let go of the girl. And cops increased, their surveillance and everything. And in 1975, there was a $4,000 reward to get him caught. So police were just doing a lot of stakeouts and stuff. And then in 1976, he would join the Auburn police and move to Sacramento. And that's when his ransacker, stalker, whatever the ransacker name would stop. In June 1976, that's when the East Area Rapist came about. So he would break into people's house, again, still no value, just very low value stuff. And he decided to take it up a bit and touch women inappropriately. And he would stalk women that lived alone in a one-story house with open space to make a quick getaway. He would call his victims for months. He would even prep the house by going in when everyone's not home, unlock windows, unlock doors, unload guns, stash ties and everything. And then in an article, it said that he seemed only break into single women's homes. And apparently he must have read that article and decided to take it as a challenge, and that's when he started doing like couples. So he would break in, he would shine the flashlight, he would bound and gag and tie them up, and then he would lay the husband on their stomach and stash dishes on the back, and then tell the man, like, if I hear any sounds from these dishes, then I'm gonna come back and kill everybody. So again, that was like his little, cue to know, like, the husband's getting up, the husband's moving. So smart guy, I guess, but creepy. So yeah, like, his victims would just lay there for hours, like, poor victims. It was said that he would call his victims and like harass them. He even called one of them saying Merry Christmas, like December 9th. He would use like a low, creepy voice. And then January 6th, he made another call to a counseling hotline. Says he was the East Area rapist, and he said that he has a problem and he wants help. And then he says, I think you're tracing this call, and hangs up. So, and there have been a few other calls too to the police department claiming to be the East Area rapist. So police thought that was weird. I think just get attention. I don't know. And February 2nd, 1978, a couple walking a dog, he would end up shooting them to death. And the guy just kept getting away. I don't even know. Well, in 1979, he slips up and he shoplifts. He gets arrested. And he gets 6 months of probation. He got fired from being a cop, obviously, in 1979. He would threaten the police chief, and he would stalk him as well. But he picked up and moved to Southern California for a new start. And his final crime in Santa Barbara in Orange County of the original Night Stalker. So October 1979, he was back at it in Southern California, murdering people. 2 of his first victims survived. October 1st, he broke in, tied them up. As soon as he leaves the room, the lady would scream. And he wasn't used to his victims screaming, so that really scared him off, and he left. The neighbor was a FBI agent and ends up following him, but he ends up losing him. And in March 13, 1980, he would use this certain Chinese knot as a diamond knot. And so those started linking everything. And he would continue to do several rapes and throughout then. He kills another couple. And then 1986, his final attack was a girl. She was home alone. And he beat her with a pipe wrench. So, 41-year-old crime spree. So, in 1990s, he worked as a truck mechanic, and then in 2017, he retired. Different places started, like, investigating and everything. Detectives thought that some were connected and some didn't think they were. And the case went cold for a long time until a crime writer, Michelle, she was super obsessed with him, called him the Golden Gate Killer. She wrote a book, I'll Be Gone in the Dark, and she followed his crimes, making links that no one knew. And she died in 2016, but her husband published the book. And then 2 couples that he ended up killing, their rich brother paid $2 million for this DNA. So, June 2016, they released new details and images of the rapist, $50,000 reward. In January 2018, a huge breakthrough, like, they do the matches online service, and they break it down to 25 different D'Angelo family trees. And in 2018, this lady is uploading, and she finds a better match, and they narrow it down to 6 possible suspects. And then finally narrow it down to Joseph and 1 family member. And in April 18th, they got his DNA off his car door handle when he went to Hobby Lobby. So April 24, 2018, 72-year-old Joseph was arrested in Citrus Heights, living with his daughter and granddaughter. And his words were like, I quote, "But I have a roast in the oven," end quote. So he got 8 counts of first-degree murder and 4 additional first-degree murders. So good thing he's caught. Everyone be safe. Have a good day.